All right, is everyone here? Let me get the chat open here so I can see what's going on. So we are on Speed Gaming 1, it looks like. So it's just straight up speed gaming, okay. All right, so we're just waiting for the race to start here. And then we will get to it. Let me open up the chat here, chat box. All right. Yep, you can hear us. You can hear me live. That's good. That is good. All right, guys, welcome to Speed Gaming. This is the Tropical Freeze tournament. We are in the winner's bracket. And we've got Michael Goldfish versus Cruncha again. We had this match last Wednesday because they're doing a best of 3. We're in the phase of the tournament now where I think every match now is a best of 3 at this point. So we got Michael Goldfish and Cruncha here. They're on game 2. Last week, Michael Goldfish won his first game. They're about 30 seconds apart, so he won with just a bit of time. And it was a pretty good match, I have to say. So we'll see how it goes here. I just talked to the runners a little bit beforehand, and Cruncha's not feeling great about it, which is unfortunate, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes for Cruncha here. And Michael Goldfish in the past week has learned quite a bit. Okay, well, we're moving on to the layout now, the proper layout. All right, we're going to use Michael Goldfish's audio to start. Looks like the players are starting. We're going to have to fix the sync issue in a second, just to sync them up here. All right, so for anyone who doesn't know this game, Tropical Freeze is for the Switch. It was originally for the Wii U, and they rebranded, or they redid it here. And one of the main complaints about the Wii U version was it was difficult, which I agree it was. It was tough. So they added Funky Mode as a new mode. He's a bit easier. He's got a lot more health, as you can see in the top left. He's got 5 hearts. He also has all the abilities of the other Kongs, pretty much, besides Diddy's swimming. So the players are now synced up here, so you can see Goldfish slightly ahead. Actually, they're pretty much dead tied. They both did the beginning really well. So you've got Funky Kong in this version, and Funky has, most of the abilities. He can jump as high as the highest, Cranky and Dixie can jump. He also has a double jump for that height, and for distance. He gets as much distance as Diddy or Dixie would get, just from hovering, which is good, so... Yeah, you have a lot of options as Funky. You can also bounce on top of spiked enemies and things like that, and you can land in spikes without taking damage, although it slows you down a lot. It actually kills your speed totally. The only way out of it is to kind of hop out. You can't get full jumps, you can't roll out of it, you can't do anything like that, you can't run. So basically, in the run, we're going to avoid spikes at all costs. Touching a spike is really bad. Both players, no mistakes in 1-1 here. Pretty much synced right up, like a half second apart, so yeah, should be a good race. It's looking pretty good to start. So the runners have pretty different styles, honestly, in this game. Both players have been around since the very beginning of the Wii U, which is now 4.5 years, I think. So they're not part of the new; they're part of the old group of guys that have been playing for a long time. And the way the runners approach the game is pretty different. I think it's really interesting. Michael Goldfish has a lot of consistency. He doesn't take the craziest strats necessarily. He tries to go for most of the fastest strats, and tries to really get consistent at the fastest strats. But Michael Goldfish has a history of being extremely consistent in runs, really making minimal mistakes. And the mistakes he does make, he's able to recover pretty well for the most part. So that's kind of the strength of Goldfish here. He's had the world record in the Wii U version for a long time. First or second place mostly, and he currently has the record for any % no death abuse on the Switch right now. So, Cruncha, on the other hand, Cruncha is more of the IL kind of individual level strat, discoverer. He's very good at improvising, finding new and creative ways to kind of get through levels. He has more world records and top times on the leaderboard. The individual level leaderboards than Michael Goldfish does. So, Crunch unfortunately missed the final jump in 1-2 there. If you watched Goldfish, he was able to grab jump. Grab jumping is a little mechanic that was kind of discovered with Funky, where if you grab before you do a double jump while you're in the air, you actually get extra height on top of it. So Goldfish was able to properly grab jump and hit the end barrel. Cruncha missed it and had to use that bug on the right side to bounce up. So he lost 2 or 3 seconds off that. So Goldfish is now in the lead here. 1-3 is a level that used to be a cranky level, and you could actually pogo on the spikes on the ground, but with Funky you don't want to touch the spikes, like I said earlier. So the route is a little bit different, where you don't bounce on any spikes. You just try to not touch them. Cruncha on the right climbs a little bit differently, and it actually saves about a half second from that version of the climb. That was discovered by Cruncha himself in the individual level practice, so in the leaderboard. So some little innovation there you see with Cruncha. Both players getting through the spiked bug section pretty nicely. Yep, both looking very clean. Goldfish fooling around a little bit on the left. Really, there's no reason. You can just wait. You have to wait for the vine anyway, so there's nothing to do. So both players that are really clean, 1 and 3, and Cruncha, his climb saved him about a half second. So that is that's good. That's going to help Cruncha a little bit in this match. The first interesting kind of level coming up, I think, is probably One Boss now, which is a brand new strat we just discovered from the cranky leaderboards in original mode. Turns out the boss's hitbox is actually increased since the Wii U version. They made it a lot bigger. I think to make the game easier, I'd imagine. So you can actually bop on Pompey, not just on his back anymore, but kind of on his face and on his head and stuff. And you're able to do that before he starts his phase where he comes, all of his phases where he comes down, and kind of loops around the platform. So, loops around the stage there. So we're going to see, it's fairly new, so we're going to see both players attempt it. I think Goldfish feels very consistent at this point. So we'll see how it turns out. Goldfish, again, he's ahead by... let's see. I'll tell you right now. About 5 seconds ahead, I'd say. So, no, really not much time at all. I mean, 5 seconds is nothing. Any small mistake changes that lead quickly. And the last race, we had a few lead changes. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see if Goldfish is able to keep this consistency up. We'll see if Crunch is able to use his... kind of utilize all the improv and the interesting tricks that he knows to gain little amounts of time here and there on Goldfish. So that's really what we're going to be looking out for in most of this matchup. 1-4 is not very interesting, unfortunately. It's just the first auto-scroller, and you can't really save a lot of time. I mean, you can not lose time, which is good, but you'll see mostly in all these minecart here, you're going to be jumping a lot, and the jumping essentially maintains your speed. So as you go up and down slopes, if you ride it, you end up losing speed up and down slopes, unfortunately. So by jumping, you're maintaining all that momentum. So that's really the only reason they're hopping all over the place, not just to be funny. All Alright, we're going into the boss now. And in Funky mode, you can actually switch between the original Kongs and Funky Kong, kind of whenever you want in between levels. It costs about 3 seconds per switch. So we're going to switch to DK here, and then grab Cranky right away. And we're only using Cranky for the boss. I mean, Funky is faster in almost all the other levels, except World 4. So Goldfish with the switch to DK here. And we're going to watch on the left. What you're going to want him... What we're really looking for Goldfish to do here is pogoing off the side of the ramps to get enough height to bop Pompey right away, as he's kind of rearing down to do a jump on the slope here. So we're looking for all the hits you can do, increase speed. There's the first one for Goldfish. Cruncha grabbing Cranky. Cruncha with the first hit as well. Goldfish with hit 2, cleanly as well. There are a couple difficult hits, but we'll see how they end up doing here. Cruncha missing the second hit. And Goldfish hitting the third hit, so that puts Cruncha a little bit behind. Again, this strat is fairly new, so it's not perfected by both players yet. Goldfish missing a hit now as well. That's actually a much slower hit to miss, because you have to wait for Pompey to go all the way around. Goldfish not even going for the backup. He's just waiting for Pompey to come down. There's a way to hit him a little bit higher there, too, as sort of the backup as he comes back down the slope. Oh, Cruncha missing the same hit. But getting the backup, so that catches a little bit of time up there. Both players not having a perfect Pompey. That's rare, I'd say, for especially for Goldfish, who's fairly consistent with this stuff. Not the hardest strats. Goldfish missing another hit. No, that actually wasn't a hit. He has to wait for this phase. But he did take an extra hit that he didn't intend to. And hopefully he doesn't lose Cranky accidentally on damage. Oh, not able to hit the fish at the top of the screen. That trick he tried to do. Let's see if Cruncha gets on the left side. Goldfish missed another hit. Uh-oh. Goldfish missed about 3 hits. There's Cruncha on the right side getting the fish at the highest point. That spawns his next phase really quickly. Oh! Cruncha saves it with the second hit. Wow. So Goldfish missed more hits than Cruncha there. That put Cruncha ahead. Not ahead, but it brought him almost all the way back up, I think. Wow. Really interesting. Really interesting boss fight. I'm surprised that Goldfish slipped up so much and did not even do the backup. So Goldfish getting the freeze. Where the game randomly freezes for 2 seconds for no reason. It is the real Goldfish. He got the game freeze. Cruncha made up a little bit of time. Not much. It actually looks like it's pretty close to how it was before, to be honest. That was tough, though. I expected both players to do a lot better on Pompey, and they didn't. Both of them are pretty skilled. I think Cruncha's got a better IL time than Goldfish does on that boss. So we're going to 2-1 here. Back to Funky, of course, right away. Funky's faster in almost every level in this world as well. Goldfish with a pretty tight climb, utilizing the double jump to get a little bit of height, enough to reach some of those platforms a little faster. Funky's almost fast at climbing vertically as Cranky was. Maybe slightly slower, but it definitely feels pretty fast if you get just enough height on your double jump. Both players having a clean 2-1. 2-1 gets... It starts off World 2 a little bit harder. There are a lot more pits you can fall in. So here the hearts don't really matter. The other ability that Funky has is he has a hover. And I think the goal of this run is to not see the hover almost at all, so... Hopefully neither player has to hover. Yep, both clean 2-1 there. Both a clean 2-1. So they're still really close. Goldfish ahead by essentially a load screen and a half here. Goldfish is picking up Randy. Got a stomp. You don't want to get the stomp. It wastes time. You can usually start running right away. We'll see if Crunch actually gets Ramby, because you don't really need him here. He does not, so Crunch is going without Ramby. In this game, when you land and start a new roll, it actually costs you usually about 1/10 of a second, 1/5 to 1/10 of a second per land. Unfortunately, with Ramby, when you do that, it costs 1/4 of a second, which is a lot more time. So even just 4 of those is a full second. So kind of the idea here with Goldfish is to run through as much stuff as possible and utilize the double jump as much as possible to not have to land. And Cruncha here, he can't run through these on the right side you see that Goldfish did, but he can jump over them, so he saves a tiny bit of time. I think it ends up about even. Cruncha's going to have to take Ramby here because he's much better in this section. So there's a little bit of momentum you can see here. Goldfish got some momentum there. Cruncha going for some momentum as well. So as you swing off those platforms, you get boosted, and if you double jump or bop off enemies, you keep your speed for as long as possible. With Crank, you used to be able to keep your speed for quite a while, but it's really the only section that saves time over Funky. So we end up not bothering with Cranky here. So Crunch is about 10 seconds behind Goldfish. Going to 2-3, this is the first level with the global cycle, where most of the stuff in this level is global cycles. All the horns that shoot things out and stuff are all global cycles. So as soon as you start the level, everything's cycle starts. And that affects kind of how you get through the level and what your muscle memory sort of is for the level. So if you screw up anywhere, or die, or get hit by an enemy and take a half second, all the cycles are different. So you have to kind of see Cruncha there. Cruncha couldn't get through that pig. That's, what's his name again? I can't remember that pig's name. I'm terrible. I think he's going to kill me. So now Crunch's cycles are a little bit off. A few things will be different. He'll have to kind of improvise there, but he's pretty good at that. He's pretty good at being creative about it, so it's one of Crunch's strengths here. Should help him out a lot. Ooh! Okay, Cruncha not able to get past that horn, so he had to hopefully not die, which he didn't, which was good. Good call on fluttering back to the horn there. So this level is probably going to cost him about 5 or 6 seconds on Goldfish. Goldfish had a very clean 2-3, so it's that consistency there. It's going to take Goldfish very far in this tournament. It's that consistency. Moving on to 2-4, this is our second and last, really, minecart level. It is cool to watch. Again, same idea, just hopping. Kind of maintains all your speed here, so not too much else going on here. There is a small part where you can actually die, just by falling through the floor or something that DKS found. So if you're ducking in the wrong spot, you die. So Michael Goldfish, you see on the left, taking damage. Really, the reason for that is just to be able to keep jumping, and jumping not losing your speed. So you have extra hearts, so it's totally fine to just take damage. Physically taking damage doesn't slow you down anyway. So. Yeah, don't duck basically, because ducking screws everything up. I feel like I need to invite Goldfish to this. Alright. Goldfish getting into the machine. This used to be an iconic section for him. See how you're doing in the race is when you get to the machine. Machine. Goldfish did not get killed on the random block that could kill you. It's good he didn't duck. And Cruncha also did not die on the random block, which is good. Alright. Goldfish out of the minecart level. Cruncha's almost done here. Before the match, I talked to Crunch a little bit. He felt like what would happen is he'd get a little bit behind in World 2, and then probably stay behind for the whole race. So we'll see if he was right about that. So far, that's pretty much what's happening. But he's not really that far behind at all. He's about 15 seconds behind, which can easily be caught up in plenty of sections. Oh, like right here. Michael Goldfish didn't get the height, quite enough height to be able to grab that vine. He's going to start the whole level over, and that actually puts Cruncha almost back in a tie. Wow. That's kind of an awkward death. So Goldfish, you're getting the extra height he needs to grab the vine. Cruncha right behind him now. Like Cruncha's like a half second behind now. Wow, what a catch up. That was just enough time to catch Cruncha right up here. And Cruncha did 2-5 just fine, so. There's also, if you watch closely, there's a couple tiny optimizations here. I said earlier that landing and having to roll again costs a tenth of a second. And you'll see Cruncha on the right doing extra double jumps here and there that Goldfish doesn't do. There were a couple already in this level, so he's saving little bits of time. That's really his time attack kind of muscle memory coming into play. And he's got the record and better times in a lot of them over Goldfish, so. Goldfish tried to be extremely optimal there. It's definitely true. By getting just enough height that you need. They're both a second apart. This is really close now. What a game 2 here. Crunch is hoping to catch up here and actually go to game 3. So I like the layout here with Goldfish with one banana bunch on the left. See, now the lead change is going to come from optimizations. It doesn't even need to be a death anymore, and Cruncher can just catch right up. So we'll see how it goes. There are a few I mean, a lot of it is optimization. The game's been out for quite a while, about 4.5 years. So we've optimized it pretty good, just in the routes through the levels. There used to be a skip, but they took it out. So Wingding is kind of a pseudo auto-scroller, as in you're riding the vines and there's nothing you can do about it. Trying to think of a spot here. I think the next spot where there could be a lead change is in the climb at the end. So if Cruncha has a better climb, Cruncha's might have a better route up the ending building than Goldfish does. That could actually catch him up enough time, just with a better climb. So we're gonna keep an eye on that coming up in about a minute here. Yeah, KB, the game is new, but it's a port of the Wii U version, which has been out since 2014. They just added funky mode essentially. So Cruncha here, still able to keep up, which is good. Got some Cruncha fan here. They're coming up to a little mini boost here, a speed boost you get off of Swing Vine. If you can keep it, you can go right into the barrel with the boost here. Goldfish blocked up the ceiling, it worked out. Cruncha also getting in there in a different route. So here's the climb. Let's watch Goldfish and Cruncha both get up here. Goldfish on the left, couldn't quite get up. Cruncha, exactly like I said, Cruncha grabbed the lead. They're almost tied now. Oh, wow. Goldfish missed one platform, didn't get quite enough height, had to go reclimb on the left side. That gave Cruncha enough time to catch right up. Now Cruncha is a fraction of a second ahead. Wow, World 2. World 2, man. World 2. Going into Scowl. Going into Scowl now. This is one of the more interesting bosses. I think it's designed very well for speedrunning. How did Goldfish catch up time there? Goldfish seems to be just a little bit ahead. Using the platforms here just for fun. You don't have to do anything in this phase. I think maybe it was his button mashing through the end of the level. Goldfish has more optimal mashing. It's possible. So this boss works very simply. 3 phases, 3 hits each. The layout's really good. I like the bananas. That's nice. So first phase are both done very easily. Phase 2, he's going to spawn birds off the right side. Really what you want to do, actually not hit him as fast as possible so that the third bird spawns. Because if you hit him earlier, he does a whole different phase. You have to wait for him to spawn more birds. So you can hit him there. But we're not going to. We're going to wait. Both players are going to do this. So a third bird spawns that you can actually throw at him. And that finishes the phase faster. Michael Goldfish misses a hit. He had trouble with this boss on the last race as well. That puts him a fair chunk behind. That's about 30 seconds. Maybe not quite 30, but... Oh, man. Missed the third bird. He missed... I think he missed the exact same throw in the last one. Oh, wow. Cruncha is ahead now. Cruncha here with the consistency. That is strange for Michael Goldfish. Might have put him on tilt, honestly, even just not getting up the climb properly in 2.6. Could have put him on just enough tilt so he's a little bit on edge. These races are all train wrecks. Wow, looks like Cruncha caught right up after World 2. For this last hit here, you don't want to throw the bird yet. It's the second hit in this phase, you're going to bump on his head when he drops. So you just want to hold the bird the whole time. Cruncha finishing the boss. Goldfish still waiting on the drop. That phase 2 definitely lost a lot of time. That loss, and I think the match you were thinking about was Reichelt versus myself. Wow. So let me change it. I guess I gotta change the audio now. So Cruncha here, now in the lead going into Grassland Group. It's our second global cycle. So, I mean, small mistakes in here don't matter as long as you make the cycles, and you have about 3 or 4 seconds of leeway. Maybe not that much. Cruncha took a hit. Again, it doesn't matter because you're going to make the cycle halfway through the level. Yeah, we got Crunch in the lead here now. By a good chunk. A good few seconds here. The bananas are who's up in the match. The best of 3 here. So Goldfish is up a game. This could be Crunch's chance to tie it up. We'll see how it goes from here on out. I mean, there's still a lot of run left. I mean, we've got about an hour left of run here. So lots of chance for Goldfish to catch up for sure. So this is the cycle they were trying to make. Basically getting this zebra. As long as the zebra's coming towards you as soon as you're kind of ready for it. So both players made the cycle no problem. The miss of that cycle is about 7 seconds. So that was fine. The next cycle is you want to catch the snake, the last snake riding up. Essentially. Both players should not have any trouble. It's not too difficult to get. Cruncha going for a quick strat here, getting on top of the snake. Allows you to get into the barrel early. He made it. That catches up even more time. I don't know if Goldfish is going to go for it. It's a little bit risky, because if you fall off the snake, it's very hard to recover off it. Goldfish is going for it as well. And he gets up a different method. I wonder what's faster. I wonder what's faster. They might be both very similar, but very different ways of doing almost the same thing. It doesn't look like both players got it, which is really good. That saves a few seconds from doing a different strat, or an older strat, I guess. All right, so going to 3-2. 3-2 is not as well, not very complicated. Cruncha! Almost died. Saved it though. Cost him a few seconds there. Just didn't make the jump. It's always scary because that hover. Really, the problem is you don't have a lot of left or right movement. You're very minimal. So unless you're close to a platform, you're really not saving yourself. That was close. That would have cost Crunch another 20-25 seconds maybe off that. That definitely would have caught Goldfish up. So both players having some trouble here and there on the consistency here. So I'd say Goldfish gained about 4 or 5 seconds on that. Sloppy Baobab. There are Baobab trees all over this level, so. Yeah, Goldfish is less than 10 seconds behind now after that mistake by Cruncha here. So even then you can see Goldfish just catching up a bit of time. Just here and there. He had faster hits, I think, on phase 3 of Scowl there, which would save a little bit of time, and he did 3-2 a lot more clean than Cruncha did, so. Oh, Jock's pointing out there are safety mushrooms there. There's 2 hidden mushrooms under there, and you can bounce off. It just looked scary. I wasn't sure where the mushrooms were, so. Because as you go past it, they're not there anymore, so. Moving on to 3-3. It used to be a fun level. Well, fun is subjective. With Cranky, as you could get a lot of momentum on these tornadoes and keep it because you could pogo with the speed. But unfortunately, it doesn't quite work, and it's not worth switching to Cranky at this point and sacrificing the time from Funky. Cruncha having some trouble. There is something weird about this level where if you're a little bit slow, all the tornadoes will start to face the other way, and you'll be pushed back. So this actually could tie it up totally. Oh, Cruncha taking hits, having sloppy. Oh, Cruncha can't get through. Michael Goldfish catches up. Barely made a little bit of time on there, just with a clean run through. Wow. And Cruncha just having some slop, not being able to get through the tornadoes. I mean, he's now like a second behind Michael Goldfish. This is really close back and forth, and it's not coming down to deaths mostly. It's mostly down to just play style and small mistakes. So, if both players are aware of that, they know they have to play extremely tight to keep a lead here. Oh boy. Goldfish, about a second and a half ahead. Pulls back from missing a hit on Scowl, which cost just a huge chunk of time. Oh, Cruncha in the bonus barrel! It's so easy to hit that bonus barrel, and you lose a lot of time from that bonus barrel, unfortunately. The key is to get under the bonus barrel, obviously, and on the platform, but it's pretty tricky to do, so. That cost Cruncha a good chunk of time, unfortunately. And that puts Goldfish at a nice, solid lead. Back where he was before Scowl. So, wow. The lead changes are absurd here. Just in the last four stages, every single besides 3-1. Oh, man. So now we're looking at another big lead change here. Alright, switching back to Goldfish here as the person in first place. Definitely have not switched audio as much as I need to, considering the lead changes that have happened. These first 3 rolls have been insane. And it shows that these players are really close. It's kind of projected, I think, that Michael Goldfish and Crunch are actually going to be in the grand finals in the end anyway. So if they're playing at this level, it should be a really interesting match. Again, after this one's even done. So we could be going just to game 2 here if Goldfish ends up keeping this lead for the rest of the run. Little strat here. Michael Goldfish missed it. Oh my god. It looks like another lead change. If you're able to get a big enough jump, and a grab jump at that end, you can actually grab the last farm early. That pushes Cruncha in the lead here. Going for the strat. Good grab jump. Doesn't make it either! What is happening? Both players Goldfish misses again. This is insane. This is insane. Both players practice this too quite a bit. Now it's Cruncha back in the lead. I can't believe this. 3-4. Same mistakes. Cruncha one more time going for it. Underneath, grab jump, jumps, waits on the vine. He's had enough. Goldfish also had enough. So we've got Cruncha back in the lead. Goldfish missed it twice. Cruncha missed it once. Cruncha taking the lead again, though. All right, we're moving on back. That was atrocious. NK, it's an easy strat. I can do it all the time. It's very easy. Oh man, 2 deaths on that by Goldfish, 1 death on that by Cruncha. Neither player got a PB, I think, out of this, but it's a damn interesting race. Cruncha's back in the run to at least tie it up. Easy peasy. Clearly not. Both players gave up on it too. At the same time, they gave up on it. I would have tried one more time for it, but yeah, maybe they're playing it up for us. Who knows? Oh boy. Out of all the levels, 3-4 really should not be a problem. Although that strat is fairly new, though. It does make sense that most of the newer strats, mostly, the players seem to be having the most trouble with. The Pompey hits were not perfect. The 3-4 ending blind was not perfect, so... I mean, some more work to be done. And both of these players are definitely going to be working on that stuff, so... But really interesting. A lot of lead changes here. This is definitely anyone's game at this point. They're both on the exact same level. Cruncha is a bit ahead. He's a few seconds ahead, I'd say. Somewhere around 5 seconds, it looks like. So, Cruncha with just barely ahead. So again, we're in territory where even a small mistake will change the lead again. Not even necessarily a death, but any small mistake here. So this is the first of the rocket barrel levels. It's very short because we only do half the level, which is great. And then you take a secret exit to a much faster level. Okay. It's also not very complicated. You just hold A, and you really will just dodge all the obstacles there. All right, so 3B that we're actually doing here is, I think, one of the coolest looking levels. The stage appears kind of as you go through it, so if you haven't memorized the stage layout, it's going to be tough. Luckily, we have. Both these players have been playing for quite a while, so we'll see. The funky strats are a little bit different than Cranky was. Cranky could pogo on all that ground very safely. Funky cannot, as he'll get stuck in it. So the route is essentially about dodging, not having to land on the bottom at all. Just using the leaves and using enemies. Both players going through levels slightly differently. Just slightly different routes through. Which is always something cool about this game. You can really go through your own unique way. Again, I think Cruncha's got a lot of the IL muscle memory. Slightly more optimal. Slightly. And we're talking frames. We're not talking, like, seconds. But that muscle memory might help. It might help him keep up and keep out of Goldfish's reach. As long as he doesn't make any mistakes. In the same token, he's more prone to making mistakes because he's generally going for the most optimal strats here. And just optimal movement in general. Alright, going to 3 boss. Again, Cruncha about 5 seconds ahead. So we'll see how this goes. There is some room for error here, but in general it's not too bad. It used to be RNG, what the boss did when he came down and kind of allowed you to hit him and stuff. But all the RNG was pretty much removed. In that sense, it's the same patterns. As long as you do the same thing, it's they give you the same patterns every time. So you just want to, for each phase, you just want to clear one monkey really quick the screen to move on to the next phase. By killing the other monkeys, you're able to kind of speed the process along here. Both players having a good phase 1. Now again, any mistake here is going to be a lead change for Cruncha. So both players hitting the monkeys just fine for phase 2. So the only little trick here that we're going to see them try to get is the monkey's finally going to throw bombs that we're actually able to throw back at him here. So if you can grab him in the air and toss him back, you're good. So Cruncha getting the Kobe. Goldfish, Kobe. Both players doing very well in this boss. Cruncha keeping his lead here, which is good. And the last bomb hit is the Phil Mickelson, taking intentional damage here. Cruncha's finished, and Goldfish makes the hit as well. All right, both players kept up the pace in World 3. Really crazy world. That was really insane. So we're moving on now to World 4. And we're going to be switching back to DK here. The main reason is because Diddy is actually really good underwater, much faster than Funky. Diddy's jetpack allows you to boost underwater very fast. So it works here because 1, 2, 3 of the levels, 3 out of 5 levels are heavy underwater, where you're almost all underwater. So any time loss you get from switching, or not using Funky in a couple of the levels is totally balanced out by the fact that you're using Diddy for minutes of underwater time. So you end up saving this route specifically saves about 30 to 45 seconds by using Diddy. I don't think anyone's properly timed it, but it's a good time save. So we're also on barrel cycles now. Since we have different Kongs to grab, they all kind of rotate here with the stage. They rotate globally. So as the stage begins, the barrels start to rotate. Goldfish missing the Diddy barrel completely. He went for a really fast spin there. He was under the barrel. So having to wait for the barrel cycle to rotate normally costs you 3 seconds, a second per rotation of Kong. But underwater, it's actually double. So Goldfish lost 6 seconds on missing that barrel. That puts Crunch at a much safer lead, honestly. Ooh, that's going to really help out Cruncha here. DKS properly timed it. What is the time, DKS? How much time does it save? Goldfish probably a little bit on tilt here from that. Not feeling good about missing that barrel. That's a tough hit. I have to say, this is not not one of his best runs here. So it is about 45 seconds. So by missing the Diddy barrel there, he's actually missing. He took another hit as well, and he missed the Dixie barrel, which is usually right on cycle with the Diddy barrel. And you need Dixie here. Cruncher having trouble with the lights. Okay. You need Dixie here to get to the secret exit as fast as you can. You can do it with Diddy. Diddy can actually slowly boost through the really strong current. So instead of having to wait for Dixie, you can do it with Diddy. But it ends up being almost the exact same time. So I think it's slightly faster with Dixie, so we just do it with Dixie. Okay. Cruncher had a really good 4-1. Goldfish lost even more time. He's probably around 10 seconds behind a total now. I have not counted yet, but you can do that on your own if you want. Cruncher moving on to 4A. 4A is actually cool. It's one of the... I think it's actually the only level now in the run where we use DK and all 3 of the Kongs, all 3 of the partners for different reasons. So we start with Dixie because you came out of the secret exit with Dixie. We're going to be switching to Diddy for the first nice underwater stretch section. Then we're going to switch to Cranky so that we can get a perfect bop into the secret exit in this level as well. Cruncha grabbing Diddy. Water bouncing. He's going to use this section here for Diddy's jetpack, which saves a bunch of time over the other Kongs. And if you're fast enough, you can grab Cranky, and everything's right on cycle for these global cycles, which is really cool. Cruncha misses the Cranky. That's going to cost him probably a little bit over 3 seconds to wait for the cycle, and then he grabbed it as well. He had to grab the barrel. That's going to cost a few seconds for Cruncha. Goldfish may be able to take this lead back soon. Let's see. Goldfish here going for the Cranky cycle. Okay, he gets it right on there. Wow, what a race. Really, it's definitely anyone's game at this point. We haven't even gotten to World 5 and 6, which up the difficulty a lot more. Goldfish inching ever so closely back into his lead here. Oh, Goldfish fell in the water. Uh-oh, I didn't actually catch that. I was too busy watching Cruncha. So it looks like it's going to be a little tougher for Goldfish. Both players not a great 5A or 4A here, rather. Oh boy. So we're moving on to 4B. This is really a Diddy level here. It used to be an out of bounds, but it was unfortunately patched, as they patched the collision in the walls, so we're not able to jump out of bounds anymore. This level's kind of like a navigate maze sort of. So you gotta grab keys and open chests and backtrack and open the right chests and stuff. With the out of bounds, we were able to just drop Diddy out of bounds, and he would swim underwater all the way to the end, and it would save about a minute. So. So both players waiting for the Diddy cycle. Much faster to use Diddy underwater. Cruncha always has a little bit of trouble with that red key grab on the right. Let's see how Goldfish does with the red key. He's a lot more consistent with it, I'd say. So you kind of just want to slide down and... Yeah, really nice grab for Goldfish, so... We'll see if Goldfish is able to actually optimize, save a little bit of time here. I know Crunch has had trouble with this level. There are a lot of strange things going on. I mean, going through those portals, depending on how you're going through them, boosting or spinning or just breaststroking, could change how you exit the portal in the next room. It's really strange. I know Crunchy just doesn't. He feels a little bit lack of some confidence in this level. You gotta grab that banana wheel. He's a little sloppy on that too. Not everyone does. I think Goldfish is a lot better at this level. Goldfish clean banana wheel. Little tiny time saves here. See how much time Goldfish actually saved in the end. He's only a room behind, which is definitely less than 10 seconds. Cruncha bonking, just not having a good clean 4B here. Bonking all over the place. Giving Goldfish a little bit of time here. Tiny little time saves here. Cruncha's almost done now. You open the gold chest, get the boss key. There's no boss. It's the shark, I guess. All right. So we're gonna go to a land level. We'll put the water levels on hold. So Goldfish is about 10 seconds behind on the nose, which is really nothing. The next trick we're going to watch out for here is the strong dong. There's a bunch of rotating barrels, quad knob and the two banger, we call them. And the idea is not to really get in any of those and not to do any of the stuff they intend. So the barrels spin, and the idea of the barrels is you shoot to get the fastest kind of speed. Shoot yourself out of the very first spinning barrel as it's kind of pointing upwards. That way you end up getting shot right into the barrel that just sends you past all of that mess. So that trick requires some timing. We'll see how it goes. I gotta grab Cranky here, because Cranky is much faster on land than any other character out of the Kong family here. Cruncha got poked. That means he's not going to be able to do the regular strong. Will that actually pull him behind? Let's see. Barrel cycles are going to be a little bit off. Oh, he did it. He still managed to do it. Usually it's really tough. And Michael Goldfish doesn't quite make it. That is too bad. Oh, Cruncha gets Dixie. And oh, God. So you want to get Diddy for sure, because the next level is a big water level. And Dixie's so slow. So Cruncha opting to just die because Dixie's so bad underwater. So I agree with his choice for sure. I didn't see if Michael Goldfish got the strong dong there as well. Crunch and dies on. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He was supposed to use the hover to get to the barrel under there. Couldn't make it. Goldfish here taking the lead on Cruncha with 2 deaths in 4 or 5. 1 intentional, 1 unintentional. Hopefully Cruncha gets it this time. He's not even going for it. He's not even going for it. Michael Goldfish grabbing the lead off of that. Goldfish had a really good 4-5 and saved a whole ton of time on Cruncha. So now we're back in the lead with Goldfish. This is quite the race, quite the back and forth. So we'll see in a second here why Diddy's so good. This level's very long and it's all underwater. So you're gonna want Diddy for all of it. Ooh, it's tough when you accidentally grab Dixie. I do agree with his decision though to die and try it again. I don't like that he died on the crate skip at the end though. That was unfortunate. And then he wasn't feeling confident enough to do it again, so which is fair. If you're not, you just don't do it. Neither player's divine skip in 3-4 for that reason, so. Goldfish so far having a really clean 4-6. Same with Cruncha. World record is free. Ooh! Cruncha had a little bonk that's going to keep him behind a little farther. With Goldfish's really good 4-6. Cruncha going the safe route here. Going the safe route. Get the heart. Not lose Diddy. Probably a good idea as well. Basically, as long as you don't lose Diddy, you're okay. He lost Diddy. Cruncha not having a good one here. Lost the lead and not making it up here. Not really able to make it up, it looks like. So Cruncha's at a huge disadvantage here. He's have to go a lot slower until he gets to the next Diddy barrel, which is in quite a while. He also has no air, so he has to go for air. And in doing so, okay, he got the Diddy barrel, at least. Cruncha needs a lot of work here to catch up at this point. He's lost a ton of time on these last two levels, unfortunately. Oh my goodness. Goldfish moving on into Fugu. Cruncha not quite done 4-6 yet. So I think Cruncha's a good solid 30 seconds behind now. That's so unfortunate. Again, both players not having great runs overall. Cruncha finally finishes 4-6. Goldfish not able to get cranky. These are the two probably like in the top 3 best players in the world. It's really not going great here. So you want cranky for this boss, so you can actually just whack him with the cane from behind. You don't have to go through any of his long phases here. So Goldfish gets the first phase down. Let's see these players tighten this up now. Cruncha grabs cranky, no problem. Goldfish not able to hit Fugu. Couldn't quite get behind him. Oh my goodness. Is this going to be enough time for Cruncha to catch up? Goldfish just going to let Cranky die. There's a much slower backup you can do here, where you just let DK get hit. Cruncha. Ooh! So Cruncha wasn't able to hit him from the back, but he got the backup really quick to go under the other side. That's good quick thinking there for Cruncha. That way he's able to keep Fugu on the side that's faster at this point. And yep, really not bad. Really good improv there from Cruncha, I have to say. When you know that you're not going to be able to hit him from the other side, your best play is to go under the other side, because that's where his belly's going to show out for that. Alright, well, that was a little bit of time for Cruncha, just on Fugu alone. Actually getting the Cranky Barrel and doing the proper strat, mostly. So that was a few seconds. Going back into World 5 now, this is where the levels kind of ramp up a bit in difficulty. I mean, clearly there was some trouble in World 4, but Worlds 5 and 6 are generally a little trickier. It was a really good save by Cruncha, really good thinking. He's got a really good good knack for that. He's really creative when it comes to this game, and just rooting through levels and strats and stuff. He makes up a lot of good strats, in ILs especially. So back to Funky. We're actually not going to be back to the Kongs anymore. It's going to be Funky for the next 2 worlds till the end of the game. We've got about a half hour, 45 minutes left in the run here for both players. And let's see, what we really want is to see both players tighten up their game a lot here. They're going to have to in order to make sure they win the race here. Goldfish wants to close out the series, win his game 2, and just move on to in the winner's bracket. The winner of this match, well, the winner of the total best of 3 here, Goldfish being up 1 game, is going to face the winner of Jock versus Spike. Goldfish, nice ending there. Good 5-1. So far, Cruncher, really good 5-1 as well. So Cruncher's looking to catch up a little bit here. He's going to have to play a lot tighter. Goldfish as well, but Cruncher really has to. And kind of just, I think at this point, hope that Goldfish is a little bit sloppy. It's going to be tough. I think Goldfish has a lot of really good consistency in World 5 and 6. So we'll see how that goes. 5-2 is our second rocket barrel level. This one's a bit longer. But it's also kind of a little break for the runners here. Kind of some downtime from a very aggressive, stress-inducing World 4. And 5-1's a bit tough as well, so that's a good little break now. Good little break. So the way the bracket works out here, so yeah, the winner will face the winner of Jock or Spike. And then down in the loser's bracket, the loser will face Tones Ballones. And the loser of Jock and Spike will face me. So that's moving on to the, that will clear out the top 4 of the race here for that. So yeah, we're getting into the end of the tournament. Every match from this point on is also a best of 3. So there's a lot of Tropical Freeze left. And we've got some of the better players here left, so they should all be really interesting matches. I'd say Tones Balloon's probably the biggest disadvantage. He's the newest player. Yeah, Tones is great. He's the newest player out of everyone left in the tournament. And he runs a lot of other games. I think he enjoyed running this game. And he has a fairly good time. It's somewhere in the low 130s, which is I think really good. He is at a disadvantage. I think he only does Funky. So he's losing out a little bit of time on World 4 and on Pompey there, the first boss, to the strats that everyone else does. And the rest of the players in the tournament, Spike, Jock, myself, Goldfish, and Cruncha are all veterans who've been around since the Wii U version. So yeah, the rest of the matches are going to be pretty good. I think they're really tight. The Michael Goldfish Cruncha matches have been tight. The Spike Jock matches have been extremely tight as well. Yep, Spike and Jock are going to game 3. Spike won the first one, lost the second one. Don't know. Yeah, I don't think Spike and Jock have another match time set up right now. Alright, so we're done 5-2, which is nice. The break time's over. Back to the action here. 5-3. 5-3, there isn't too much to it. It's fairly straightforward. We shouldn't have really any trouble from both players, hopefully. So it looks like the Jock and Spike match will be next week. Yeah, this game is very good. It's really well designed. Really good level design. Really good movement. Just feels good to play. So the hit from Goldfish on the left is intentional, pretty much. It's very hard to avoid. It's really the only way, at some point, you're going to get hit there, is to get through. Cruncher here will have to take a hit somewhere as well. He just takes it on the drill itself. Doesn't really matter, you're taking it most of the time. It's not too consistent to do it without taking that hit there. Both players having good 5-3s. Really not nothing from either player in terms of mistakes here. Goldfish using a grab jump to get to the last barrel. Again, the grab jumps are a fairly new mechanic that that Funky kind of has, where you can jump and then before your double jump, grab in the air. Then you do your double jump. You get some extra height for whatever reason. It's the way to kind of utilize that in a lot of little places. You'll see if just Funky grabs before he jumps again, that they're getting extra height somewhere. Okay, 5-4 here. This level we have to take the secret exit, or we're doing a really slow bad level, so. Alright, good little strat by Goldfish to get in the water there. Sometimes you have to take damage. Used to have to before Funky. So far, really smooth by Goldfish. Does a weird jump there. Not sure why. Not sure if that's to set up some cycle here. Oh, Cruncha got stuck briefly in the glue, in the hummus, which is the spikes essentially. Again, don't touch the spikes or you get stuck. But he's doing fine coming back to that. Ooh, can't quite get out of the water. Having trouble with that water. Opts to grab the vine instead, just to make it out. That's gonna put his lead. That's gonna put his deficit even more behind here. Unfortunately for Cruncha, it's gonna take a lot of work to catch up here. He's now a fair chunk behind. So Goldfish gonna use the grab jump here to gain some extra height. This climb, really good climb for Goldfish. Yep, makes the platforms easily. And into the secret exit. It's worth noting that Funky can also get into the secret, just like Dixon. Really good level for Goldfish. Hey, Cruncha's climb here. Actually does it a little bit faster, I'd say, than Goldfish did. Watching out! Ooh. Cruncha got a little scared there. Hovered and barely made it on the platform, so. So it looks like we got Goldfish ahead by about 20 seconds here. So there's a brand new kind of strat here. Let's see if they do it. What they're going to try and do is, normally you'd make a cycle where there's a big button, and as it's coming up, you'd make the hit on the button here to kind of allow yourself to keep up with the global cycles in this level. But there's a new little strat where you kind of want to just rush it, take a hit. Goldfish is going to go for it here. Hit the button as it's coming down, which means he's saving a couple seconds. Goldfish makes the button as it comes down. So this shaft coming up normally is pretty smooth as you drop down it. But with this cycle, you're going to take a hit on it. Good hit from Goldfish, though. Goldfish having a good run here, a good run through this level, trying to get through. He's made all the cycles so far, so let's see how Cruncha does here. Taking a hit. Not getting hit, which is good. Cruncha also able, looks like, making the button cycle. Okay, so Goldfish did really well here. Made the extra 2 seconds. Cruncha looking like he's doing really well as well. Let's see how his shaft is. Jump down. Take a hit in the middle. That's fine. Really good drop also for Cruncha. Nicely done here. Both players. That's good. This is what you want at this point in the run. Goldfish wanting to keep his lead. Able to do it by doing the strats really well. Cruncha trying to catch up. The only way he's going to do that is doing everything optimally. So really good 5B from both players here. Moving on to 5-6 on Goldfish at the left here. There's tons of momentum in this level. So all the ice physics now really come into play. And as you get pushed by those springing like watermelon things, you gain a ton of speed, as you can see. Goldfish is able to use that speed to just blast through the level, which is great. We want to maintain that as much as possible. If you jump with the speed, you actually and maintain the double jump, you're able to keep all your speed as well. And if you do a little roll on the ice, you keep your speed as well. Goldfish intentionally taking damage, so he's able to kind of keep his momentum and blast right through that section with the spike ceiling. This one as well. Goldfish with a great 5-6 as well, really tight. Let's see how Cruncha does with the momentum here. So far, so good. The new 5-6 strats are really nice. I agree. Very much agree with that. Cruncha coming up with the second boost here. Ooh! Cruncha had a little scary jump there. He looked like he had more speed than Goldfish, but kind of wasn't really able to maintain it. I think it was an awkward, just a really awkward, awkward height or awkward speed for him. I've never actually, I don't think I've ever seen that fast. So Cruncha actually probably lost a little bit of time, just because he wasn't able to hold on to it properly. But he didn't die, so that's good. Very easy to fall and die there, especially with that speed. All right, 5 boss. 5 boss. Again, really kind of break time here for both runners. The most dangerous thing that can happen is you miss a hit. But it's really hard to miss a hit, especially with Funky. So many hearts. Yeah, again, the randomness is pretty much gone from the boss battles, which is good. It used to kind of be, there used to be a bunch of random patterns and ways he could drop the blocks and stuff, but now it's pretty consistent. And you just go through the motions. As long as you don't miss a hit, we're good. So looks like we're still looking at Goldfish with a 20-second lead here, probably going into World 6 with this. And World 6 has 8 regular levels, and then the boss. A lot of short levels, though, but there are some tough ones. I think the next really big possible lead change is going to be 6-5, with some incredible momentum boosts, but also very difficult tricks. And I'm sure both players are going through the most difficult strats, so that'll be really good to see. That'll be the next highlight coming up, I think, in World 6 here. Get our little break time here, which is nice. Break time on the boss. With this, I'm going to just take a small bathroom break. I'll be right back. Alright, we're almost done, it looks like. Hey. I didn't see what happened. Doom. It's totally fine, and nothing's changed in terms of lead. Goldfish finishing off. Crunch on the baseball section still, so it looks like he's about 20-30 seconds behind. Or so. I think more like 25 here. Alright, moving into 6-1. 6-1 now. 6-1 used to be quite the challenge, but Funky is luckily made it a lot easier. You can take more damage. Actually, it looks like Crunch is actually closer to 40 seconds But 6-5 can easily change that. 6-5 is a lot of risky strats and a lot of speed boosts. So you go for everything in 6-5. And Goldfish doing just fine here on 6-1. There's some cool momentum in this one as well. Coming up in the swing the vine here. Oh, he missed the vine. Grabbed it again. If that vine fell, he actually would have... Oh! He died on the Cruncher drop. That's a strat that Cruncher invented a while ago. Doesn't lose too much time, but that's definitely... Goldfish having some trouble with this little section here. Is Cruncher able to keep up his namesake? Get this drop. He actually lost a little time there. Unfortunately, Cruncher on the right, having to go through the barrels a little bit slowly. Goldfish with a death on that drop. It's a strat I don't do because I die on it, but I thought there were consistent strats for it. This is a little choke here, I think, for Goldfish. Let's see how Cruncher does on the drop here. Gets the speed boost. Just fine. Cruncher really solid here so far. Only his little small mistake at the beginning, where he had to ride some barrels, take a couple extra barrel shots, instead of fluttering over them. But Cruncher had a pretty good 6-1 besides that. So he caught up a little bit there. Maybe about 10 seconds or 15 seconds from Goldfish here of time loss. This race has a lot of little slop going on. Both players not really able to keep it super tight throughout the whole race. Goldfish is usually very consistent. I think the biggest kind of slop that Goldfish usually has is just a couple big mistakes. But he hasn't had too many of those in this run. He's had a lot of small mistakes, which is really closer to what Cruncher usually does, because Cruncher goes for kind of optimal IL strats. Really uses that as kind of his crutch and advantage to getting in. Goldfish on the boat, take an intentional hit here on the water, and it actually just boosts you to the next possible closest platform you can get on, which happens to be much farther forward at that point. Alright, Goldfish with a clean 6-2. Cruncher looking like he's also having a clean 6-2. Just getting closer even with this race. If it's close coming into 6-4 or 6-5 rather, where the crazy strats happen, it should be interesting. That could be a massive lead change here. If Cruncher is able to do that stuff really well. There's not really much else up until then. 6-3 is fairly straightforward. There is the possibility of some small mistakes. There's a possibility of some death. I don't think it'll happen though. Both players are pretty good here. Yeah, 6-5 is going to be the big decider, I think, here in World 6, because the race is pretty damn close still. And both players are going for, I think, the biggest strats here. Fairly recently discovered strat. Ooh, Goldfish, a little bit of slop there. Kind of having some trouble getting up that platform. If Cruncher has a smooth one, it's going to be even better for the 6-5 here. Give Cruncher about a couple seconds here of time if he does well. There's also a cool new strat at the very end of it. You don't have to climb up the entire set of these icicle platforms. Coming up here, you can actually roll off the third one. Goldfish not jumping properly. Roll off this one. Actually allows you to get in this barrel much earlier than normal with Funky's double jump. That's a neat little cool strat that they was recently discovered. Goldfish not the most optimal 6-3. And as we've seen earlier, that is a big decider in this match, is how clean both players can just do these levels consistently. Watch Cruncher's climb here, he might do it better. Yep, Cruncher easily getting up the platforms. Honestly, Cruncher gained 2 or 3 seconds on Goldfish in this level, just on general movement. So, it's getting even closer. 6-4 is our last auto-scroller. We just have to suffer through one more auto-scroller. It's a Rocket Arrow one, so there's no way to speed it up here, unfortunately. But I think both players will probably go for some cool swag. Yep, just kind of have to go through it here. The actual time difference is. So we'll count with the that checkpoint there. Neither player is, I think, on PB pace at this point. They've had quite a few mistakes, so unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see a PB from either player. The estimate I'm looking at is around mid 120s, 125, probably 124, possibly. That's kind of the rough estimate of what we're going to get here, I'd say. All right, Cruncha, about 35 seconds behind here. So the 6-5 could be the decider. It could really change a lot. Any death from Goldfish on 6-5 immediately puts in the lead, doesn't die. And then in terms of getting the boosts, I mean, they could hold back on the boosts a little bit as well, and that would change about 5-10 seconds either way, depending on if they go for the full boost. All three of them actually. Now it's become just 2, I think. Goldfish in the snowball section here. The last little bit of the auto scroller before the final gauntlet of the run here. And really, the next 4 level, a lot of cool little tricks and definitely points where people could mess up and do well. So moving to 6-5, let's see how Goldfish does first. We're gonna be able to see Gold go through, I think, most of the 6-5 strats before Cruncha gets there. So we'll be able to compare nicely how they do. A lot of the speed boost you're getting in this level is the grassy platforms that kind of spring you. You're able to maintain a lot of that speed by double jumping and bopping on enemies and obstacles. So that's where a lot of the speed's going to come from. All right, Goldfish loading up 6-5 here. This is the, in my opinion, one of the most exciting parts of the run. And it just looks so cool, the speed you get. The Goldfish double jumping up to the platform. Getting onto the first springing platform in a second here. Here he goes. Snowflake bop, grab jump. Rolls off, grabs that, rolls back. Now he's going to get speed off of this. And try and maintain it. He holds back. He didn't have a lot of speed off that platform, so normally you can boost through all of this here. So he didn't quite get the second boost. It's really difficult. Let's see if Cruncha gets it. That'll save him a good chunk of time if he does. Goldfish with the back up here just to get in normally. Good little boosting though. So watch Cruncha on the right side now attempt this. See if he maintains all the speed. This is a good chance for him to catch up a good amount of time. Grab jump just fine. Grabs the wheel, goes back left. In order to get this. Boosting off. Good speed for Cruncha. Oh, he takes a hit, but maintains the speed! Okay, he survived. Very close to dying. Luckily, the platform just barely got there in time. So, Cruncha gained a bit of time on Goldfish there. I didn't see the last boost. I think he had a good last boost, though. Cruncha nearly died. Still gained time on Goldfish there, though. Not much, but a little bit. So, Cruncha going for the final boost as well. And good ending boost for Cruncha here, looks like. Beautiful. Honestly, really good levels for both. No question. Goldfish wasn't quite able, but he made the smart move and pulled back, because the speed was not nearly good enough to actually make the full boost. So instead of trying it, he just held back, did the level as regular, which is definitely the play at this point. You don't want to go for it when you don't have the right speed. So. And Cruncha got much better speed, went a bit farther, but also decided to hold back. So near the end a bit, managed to save it. He got a little more risky, but it was good. That was definitely a good 6-5 for both players. Goldfish here, the risky strats in 6-6 here. Oh, this race is good. This race is really good. It's, you know what? Goldfish has got a good lead, but it's still been a really exciting bunch of lead changes, and they're both getting really good strats. So that's good. Really good 6-5 here for Goldfish. Cruncha, ooh, not able to kind of make that platform there. That's a really tricky section. So at this point, Cruncha lost about another 20 or so seconds on that death. That's unfortunate. I think that was probably a little bit of hope Goldfish had, or Cruncha had here. Was just consistently finishing the game and hoping Goldfish made another mistake. It's looking tough now. Goldfish is winning by a good chunk here, unfortunately, for Cruncha. That's too bad, that last death. We can't quite call the winner yet. There's still gameplay. 6-7 can be tricky. There are some tricky jumps, and the ending, depending on if Goldfish goes for the swag damageless, barrel-less ending, you never know. So there's a little chance here at the very end for something to happen for Goldfish, to give Crunch a bit of a chance. And then after that, it's pretty much just the final boss making the 9-for-9 hits. Crunch having some trouble with the plug. I think he's a little bit on tilt after that death, unfortunately. Goldfish can miss hits, so we'll see. Goldfish can also miss early throws, which cost about 5 seconds each or so. So we'll see. I mean, it's not over. It's getting tight, though. A lot of the big stuff is done, but there's still lots of chance. Goldfish can definitely miss hits. And that will put him to game 3. I'll have to play another match out after this, because he is ahead of game. And it's a best of 3, so... Goldfish having a pretty smooth 6-7. We'll see how he does at the very end here. It's a really tight route. It goes all the way down to 1 heart. The damage boosts are really key. Everything's intentional. Going for the jump. Makes the ending barrel. Nicely done, Goldfish. Good little trick there. And as long as he's going fast enough, those rotating like electricity things won't touch you when you try that trick. So it's just a jump roll, grab jump, and then give you enough distance to actually get into the end. Cruncher also having a really smooth 6-7, which is good. He hasn't gone too far off tilt from dying. He's keeping it up, still trying to get there. Race is not over. It's not over, and he knows it. He knows the race is not over. Goldfish on 6-8, the last regular level of the game before. It's also a Ramby level, and you really have to get Ramby, unfortunately, here. You can't break through blocks, and you can't really get to the end without it. Crunch's route here is a little bit different if you notice in 6-7. He hasn't taken as much damage. And he's going for the regular barrel strat, which really is not even that much slower. It's like less than a second. So Goldfish on 6-8 on the left here. Kind of the issue with 6-8 really is you have to wait for blocks to fall down, and it gets a little frustrating. There's a lot of you have to time yourself to jump on the blocks that fall sort of fast. And Goldfish doing really well though. Ramby gets the double jump with Funky on his back. Barrel skip there. So far, really clean 6-8 for Goldfish. Crunch just entering. Not too far behind. He honestly really is only, one Frederick hit, honestly, behind. If Goldfish misses a hit, it's going to be incredibly close. Goldfish with the Ramby ditch to get Funky going. By ditching Ramby, you can get up to that top section pretty quick. Both players being in 6-8 at the same time is good. It's always a cool race at that point. There's just been so many lead changes. It's insane. So this has been a pretty crazy race overall, I'd say. Really cool to watch. Really close. So heartbreaking to see some deaths. Michael Goldfish dies at the end of 6-8. Oh my goodness. I don't even know how he died. I was not watching. The lava hit him, so I assume he shot himself out of the barrel by accident. Oh my goodness. That's a major death, too. Major death. That was the AGDQ barrel. Holy moly. This is a race again. So Cruncha just about to enter the barrel too. Goldfish lost like 20 seconds. 20 seconds plus on that. Maybe 30. Wow. Now it's even closer. Crunch is literally only 20 seconds behind now, going into the final boss. Oh my goodness. What happened? He swore he never would make that mistake again, and here he is, in the winner's bracket, trying to go for it. Wow. Alright, now everything matters in the final boss. Early throws are going to matter too. So you can throw his little minions into the background and try and hit him to get him to push the phase along. And if you grab them immediately and try and throw them quick, you can knock him off his rocker there. So we'll see if Goldfish manages to get these early hits. They will, I think, the winner. Even phase 3, like lots of things can determine it. Alright, Goldfish going for the throw. Makes the first early hit. That's going to keep him in the lead. It's good. He needs 3 hits here to move on to phase 2. These are the easier hits, I'd say. Shouldn't have much of a problem. So far, Goldfish doing well. We're not going to get a Saturday game from these two. Cruncha going for the first early hit. Ooh, he misses the hit. That's going to cost a few seconds more. Gets the regular hit. Now Cruncha's going to go for the first 3. This is really close. Get my controls up here. And Cruncha making the hits here. Yep. Excellent. See how Goldfish does here for the second early hit. Doesn't make the earliest hit. He has to wait. Going for phase 2. This is a tricky one because he changes his speed mid-runs. Not mid-runs, but for each run it's a different speed. They can hit the next hit, no problem. Hit 506. Okay, Goldfish makes all 3 hits on phase 2. Going to phase 3 now. Is Goldfish able to make all 3 hits and win his match? Cruncha missing the early hit as well. It's really going to come down to a hit now. If Cruncha makes all 3, then we have a chance here for Cruncha. 1 is just fine. 2. Okay, Cruncha is on 6 for 6 as well. Goldfish has to make the 3 hits. That's really the way we're doing it here. That's the way Goldfish wins. If he misses a hit, then it looks like it could be Crunch's game. A catch-up at the very end is possible. Goldfish doesn't get the early hit on through phase 3. Makes a regular hit now. Alright, going for 3 bops. Let's see it. Goldfish. It's 7, 8, and 9 here. 7. 7 for 7. 8. One more for Goldfish. Done. And we are done. Michael Goldfish, 125.40. Gets the 2 bananas. Cruncha just finishing up phase 3 here. Wow. GG Goldfish. Even the death on 6/8. Is Cruncha getting his hits here? Just to finish up, just barely behind. By less than 30 seconds if he gets this one. And Cruncha's done as well. Beautiful match. 30 seconds apart. Really close. Really good game. Wow. So back and forth. I can't believe it. I literally cannot believe it.
Hello.
What's going on?
What a dumb race.
What a dumb race. It was exciting, I have to say, the whole time.
It was so stupid. That was unbelievable.
That was you're both terrible at this game, by the way.
Like, it was extra annoying because for Scowl, I did the exact same thing that I've been doing in practice. Like, I came up with super precise visuals on exactly where to jump and throw them, and it worked like 15 times in a row. And then race, nah, man. See ya. And then 3-4, I'm like, yo, this shit's free, man. And then, oh no, the burn death twice.
Both of you on 3-4 was ridiculous. That was,
like,
I love how you both
that
gave
happens
up
once every like 10 or more attempts.
Cruncha, how do you feel about this?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing Goldfish was saying.
Like, I feel like I got bodied by random shit that, like, it was out of my control, and then because of that, the dumb shit happened because, like, I was just an idiot.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't want both, man. You want one or the other.
There was, I think there were, like, not even gonna joke, over 10 lead changes. Like, just, and not even on deaths, on just swap. Like, oh, Cruncha messed up a little bit, Goldfish is ahead. Oh, Goldfish messed up, Cruncha came back.
Yeah, 4-1. Oh, let's jump. Like, what the hell, man? Like, my roll didn't come out. I'm like, alright, that's cool. And then I go into the Spinies, and the Spiny hits me. Like, yeah, of course, this is the run that he hits me. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, give me a break.
You feel like you fell on tilts at some points and just kept making more mistakes after a while?
Yeah,
or were you able to keep a good headspace?
It was after Fugu.
Mm-hmm.
Things got a lot, like, better mentally. Like, because the Fugu was shit. But, I mean, the backups were so pristine. As soon as I saw it not working, I knew instantly to go up and do the backup thing. And then as soon as I only had the one heart, I knew exactly where to position myself. Yeah, so, like, I feel like I played Fugu really well for, like, for how badly it went. And then
Cruncha,
from there, the confidence went up.
Really well. The recognizing the backup right away was really good.
I actually did that intentionally. I keep missing the 6th hit because the cane just doesn't come out for some reason, so I changed out there to intentionally like go and hit him from behind. That's
a pretty good. It works really well. So I was really cool to see that.
Yeah.
And Goldfish, can we talk about the AGDQ barrel for us?
Oh yeah, I don't know. My brain fucked up and I messed up the. Yeah, it wasn't a misinput. I mistook the visual cue for whatever reason.
Fair enough.
And then after I did it, I was like, oh shit, that's not visual, is it? And then he fell into the lava. I'm like, oh shit, I just lost the race. I'm gonna have to do this shit on Saturday.
No, there won't be a Saturday race. That moves you on, Goldfish. And Cruncha, you're gonna be facing now the winner of who are you facing? You're facing the winner of Jock and Spike. No, that's Goldfish.
It was Tones, wasn't it?
Tones. Yeah, Cruncha versus Tones now.
Yeah, ooh.
So there you go. And then, yeah, so that's that. Goldfish, you're moving on to whoever wins Jock and Spike. You feeling good about that matchup?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good if I practice. Because today I have, like, other, like, real-world stuff going on Friday. So, like, my head's also focusing on other, like, stuff right now. But once that's out of the way, and then I can actually practice, like, I think it'll be good. Because today I didn't actually, like, play until today. It's not a John, but I mean, I want to just, like, mentally clear my head for this.
Right.
Instead of, like, oh my god, I'm practicing things I already know and second-guessing yourself. But I've learned that I am not that kind of person, and I should just review the day up.
Fair enough.
I thought it would work out, and it didn't.
You learned something about yourself, which is good.
Yeah. A very personal run.
Cruncha, any other thoughts?
For like 5 hours last night, so I can't relate to that at all.
Oh, goodness. Oh, man.
It's alright, man. I should have.
I think both of you had a really good 6-5. I mean, you recognize when you had to stop the boost, which is really good.
Yeah, I didn't get the speed, man. And it looked so pristine.
But you recognize it right away.
To the spring thing, like, so smoothly. And then I had the grab jump exactly when I wanted it. And the game's like, nah, you don't get speed today. I'm like, yeah, today would be the day. So just like did the babby stuff. But that's alright.
Yeah. And Cruncher caught a little bit of time up there. I think you kept the speed a little bit longer than Goldfish.
Yeah, more than no speed.
Yeah, I had pretty good speed actually, and then panicked a little and ended up having to take the flower and the second springboard on second piece.
Yeah, no shame in that. Still saves like 3 to 5 or something. Saves enough that it's worth doing for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, really fun race to watch. Regardless of what you guys think, it was really entertaining.
Oh, I'm glad other people enjoyed it because oh boy,
it was close. I mean, I really had no idea about after 6-5 or.
Another 30-second race.
It was
like it's scary how close these races have been with like the amount of slop from both ends.
Yeah, I think most of the races have been like less. This one was 35 seconds or so.
Too bad I didn't have my run from last race. This race.
You would have crushed it. Yep.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Like halfway through, I think in like World 3, I was checking my like the best pace. Like again, it was like 124, like mid something. I was like, oh my god.
By World 3, I was like, both of these players cannot PB anymore, and it's only World 3.
Like Crunch would have dominated me last race. Holy moly! Like
yeah.
How's it the second one that we're both just like beefing it? But I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
This is a match game. There's more on the line.
It's true. This is it. So Cruncher, you're not even close to out. You're gonna lose, but it's very possible you get right back up there in the finals with Goldfish again, if Goldfish makes it all the way through too. I think we're kind of looking at you two being the two finalists, just on general skill and
Oh, I don't know about that. Not after
well, we'll see.
I was thinking that before I started the race today. But
yeah.
Right.
But what is this? 125 and 126?
Yeah, they're high 125, low 120.
Oh, and Spike's gonna do like 5 million no resets before I race him. Like,
if I race him, 30th one.
No, I definitely need to. I gotta figure something out because this is not it.
It's not it.
Yeah, same.
It's okay. It was really fun to watch. I have to say, as a final, it was it was tons of fun. I love commentating you guys.
Yeah, I'm glad it was a good race.
Yeah, it was so close. I mean, no idea who was gonna win at this point. So it was great. So thanks, guys. Thanks for doing the race.
No problem.
Again, Goldfish moves on. We don't have another scheduled race yet. I think Jock is like... Sorry. Yeah.
Congrats, Goldfish.
Yeah. Spike and Jock have one scheduled, or not scheduled yet, but they're and they're one apiece. So the next match is the winner is going to move on to face Goldfish. So.
Yeah, I think that one's going to be in a bit because like Spike was out of town, and then Jock couldn't do weekdays, and there was a whole thing going on. So that'll probably be like a little bit later. Yeah, they're doing it next week, but that should also be a really good match. Both players have times, and both of their races were close. So yeah, we're in the good part of the tournament where every match is amazing. Oh boy, they're so tight. So this is good. Scary, man. Thanks, guys. Game. Scary game. I'm not sure what's up next on Speed Gaming 1. Thank you, though, for having us again, Speed Gaming, and hosting the tournament. Thank you. It's been awesome. Yeah, more Tropical Freeze, for sure. This was a busy week for Tropical Freeze, but now it's slowing down, So yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. I will head on out now, and feel free to follow everybody. Crunch a Goldfish so we stream all the time. Not really, but sometimes. All right. Goodbye, everybody, and good night. Yeah, good night, everyone. See you later. See you later.